off them Johnny Cash records. It's a fine line that I'm walking on. She was the right one right up till I went on wrong. So call me a strong one, play me an old country song. Play me an old country song. Drink up to drown out that last night down South Birmingham. Seeing or leaving, believing you weren't worth a damn. One more whiskey won't be enough. Numb the pain, turn the radio up. So call me a strong one, play me an old country song. Play me an old country song. Coming, rolling round the bend, Lord help me, just like old Johnny's gone. She won't be back again. One more whiskey won't be enough. Numb the pain, turn the radio up. Call me a strong one, play me an old country song. Play me an old country song. Call me a strong one, play me an old country song. Play me an old country song. Play me an old country song.
All right. I think everything is rolling. I got everything on. The camera's on. Audacity's on. We are rolling. How you doing, Mark?
Good, good. Good, Brian. Thank you, man.
Good to see you, man. We're a little early because you decided to speed over here. You should have got a ticket or something, I'm sure, as fast as you made it. But
well, you know, 61's a straight shot from West Ashley to...
That's the only way I go, really. I mean, everybody talks about the interstate and how much better it is, but I love 61, just the views on it. I never have a problem traffic-wise. You know, you think you would with a two-lane road, you know, going against each other, but I've never encountered an accident, wildlife, a road closure, flooding, anything on that road. I've always had a good time on it.
Those 18-wheelers coming at you, though.
That's true.
That could be a little crazy.
That's a little crazy, especially depending on the size car that you have.
Exactly.
You know, but
we used to motorcycle up and down that road.
Really?
Yeah. Early in the morning. Beautiful road, though.
Yeah, it's fantastic. I don't think do you think they'll ever do anything with it? You know, expand it or anything like that?
I don't know. It looks kind of swampy over there on the left and the right. And so, hopefully not. Those critters need some room to live back there.
Yeah. I don't see them ever, you know, I see them maybe making a bypass road to go around or something, but I don't see them ever expanding that road, really.
Yeah, hope not.
Yeah. Well, I appreciate you coming over. I know we had this thing scheduled for last night, but I'm telling you, I'll say this. At the time that we talked on the phone, it was, do not come over here. Yeah, this place is flooded out. Power's out all over the place. I saw 2 lightning strikes, the closest lightning strikes I've ever seen in my entire life. You know, I'm almost 47 years old. And I was sitting at the coffee shop up here on Charlie Road, Bigley Coffee, and on my computer doing some stuff. And all of a sudden you hear this crack, and I look out the window, the widest piece of light I've ever seen. It hit a power line in a tree on the other side of the road, so it was probably 50 yards away. The brightest, loudest piece of lightning I've ever seen in my life. It was scary. I mean, the entire place jumped, and everybody was just looking out the window, seeing if there was a giant fire, or if anybody was injured, or cars were wrecked, or whatever. But it was scary. And then I left from there, and I went to Lowe's Foods right down the road there in Oak Brook. I was sitting in the parking lot waiting to get out the car because it was just torrential downpour. Hail was coming down. Winds were 60 miles an hour. And another lightning strike came down and hit an electronic billboard that was sitting right there, again, probably 40, 50 yards away from me, and knocked the billboard out. I mean, it was, bright, had advertisements going. As soon as the lightning hit it, it just went dark. It went blank.
Shoot.
And, so twice in one day.
Well, where are you going tonight? So we'll know where to...
Right. I don't think there's any thunderstorms in the forecast for tonight, but yeah.
That's good to know.
It was close. So luckily I was in God's good graces, I guess. So
sweet.
Wasn't my time to go. But, so we rescheduled. So here we are today. And again, I appreciate you coming over. You can get your shirt on, man. You're all decked out.
I got all the 40 miles.
We got all the advertisement going on, for sure. I appreciate you bringing the stickers, the coaster.
Yeah. People love those coasters.
Yeah, they're good. We've got a bunch of them at work and homegrown, as a matter of fact, laying around somewhere that we use occasionally.
Nice.
Yeah. So let's just go right into it. You mentioned it while you were sitting on the couch over here while we were setting up. You're probably going to be coming out this way, right? To Somerville.
Yeah.
You're in West Ashley.
I live in West Ashley now, and my wife Ellen and I just love Somerville and the whole...
Let's pull that mic in a little closer.
Little community vibe going on here in Somerville, and really like it. So anybody wants a house West Ashley, we've got a really nice one for sale if you're interested.
Right.
But we're trying to move out here to Somerville, try to get a little more community feel situation.
Okay.
Yeah.
How long have you been out in West Ashley?
About 32 years.
Really?
Yeah.
Where'd you come from?
I moved down here from Baltimore, Maryland.
That's where you're from originally?
Originally New Jersey.
Wow.
Went to school in Baltimore. Actually, we moved down here from Columbia, Maryland, actually. My wife Ellen's from West Ashley.
Okay.
Yeah. So you
met her down here?
Met her in Maryland, University of Maryland.
You're all over the place.
Yeah, man. Well, you don't meet many original Charleston settlers anymore,
That's true. I came back about 5 years ago now. Yeah, it's there's nobody original. Everybody's a transplant of some sort. I'm originally from North Charleston.
Okay.
But
well, we meet people and introduce Ellen, and nobody believes that she's really from here.
Really?
Yeah.
Does she have an accent? I haven't really talked to her much.
I don't know if she had that. I don't know. After this long, I just don't hear it.
Right.
Or anything much, but anyway.
How long have you been married? How long?
Oh, man. Just celebrated 36.
Damn.
Yeah. Ellen's a very patient lady. Hey, Ellen.
Yeah, that's a long time.
Yeah.
That's fantastic. You don't see that much often anymore either.
Well, I haven't.
Yeah.
She's, Ellen's a very patient lady.
Good.
Yeah.
So that's going to be in the Nexton area? Is that where you're trying to go?
Yeah, looking up there. Nexton, Cane Bay, somewhere on that side of the world.
Okay. And we'll get into it. I know you work over there in West Ashley right now, but you're trying to open up an office over on this side of town, which will coincide with your move.
Yeah.
So are you going to give up what you're doing over there in West Ashley, or is that just going to be a satellite office over there for you?
No, yeah, we're going to have 2 locations. We're going to keep the West Ashley location going and have a second location in actually Nexton Square.
Okay.
I'll be able to eat at Taco Boy every day.
Right. Yeah, so you're one of the guys contributing to the growth over there, for sure.
Yeah.
And pulling it all out of downtown Somerville over to across the bridge.
Well, that's where the people seem to be moving over there.
It is, yeah.
Some good opportunities for businesses and stuff over there.
Yeah, it's becoming its new...
But, we love the downtown area. That's what really attracted us to come and look up in Somerville. Hutchinson Square, Homegrown Brew House.
Right.
All that stuff there. And, it's one area of this, low country where you can go and, seriously have a community feeling to it.
Yeah.
some food out on the sidewalk, that kind of stuff, and
Sure.
all those places down in Hutchinson. I mean, they've done a great job down there too.
I think so. There was a lot of grumbling about it and all the money they were spending on it, but I think it's going to be, they're going to get their money back out of it and more for sure. I mean, from what I've seen so far, since it's open, because obviously I'm right there looking at it every single time that I work, and I've seen the growth, and I've seen the excess people that are now flocking there, and the families that are having fun and frolicking out in the grass and the open spaces and the music at the amphitheater. I mean, it's fantastic for the town, I think. I think it was money well spent.
Well, we're going to, 40 Mile Detour, we're going to do some of the Third Thursday events out there.
Yeah.
And Sweet Tea Festival also.
Very nice.
Yeah, so we're looking forward to that.
On the main stage there, the new amphitheater.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
West Ashley, I don't really think there's anything like that in West Ashley. There's some central hubs like Avondale, is one part of town where there's a lot of places to eat and go hang out at, but not kind of like that same square situation.
Right. Yeah, you have to be kind of inside, off the street type thing. But there's not really a hangout spot in the central part of Avondale. But it's still somewhat.
Unless you like Savannah Highway.
Yeah. Right. And there's some stuff closer out, right, toward Folly Beach maybe. Isn't there an amphitheater of some sort out there at some farmer's market? Or am I thinking of something else?
Not sure.
No? Yeah, I'm not sure either. But I know there's something out there music-wise. And then you got, just trying to think of some venues out there. I don't know why, but matter of fact, we got Blue Spear playing Sunday at Under the Oaks, I guess, at the Tattooed Moose.
Yeah.
Have you played out there before?
Yeah, that's a great scene out there on a Sunday afternoon.
I haven't seen it yet. I'm going to do it this Sunday.
Oh, you'll like it.
Yeah.
You'll like it.
As long as the weather holds off.
Yeah, well, it's summer. We're living in the tropics. It's gonna.
Yeah.
That's a fun scene out there at Tattooed Moose on Sunday afternoon. Just like you're talking about Hutchinson Square, families, dogs running around and stuff. That's what it'll be like.
Right. So I should bring a blanket or a chair. Do they have seating out there? Do you know?
Well, they have benches and regular seating if people ordering food and stuff. But yeah, bring a chair, bring a blanket out there, and your dog, and the whole thing.
Okay.
Yeah, it's a cool scene out there. We've done a bunch of those. They do oyster roasts and stuff during the winter.
Okay.
On Sunday afternoon.
Right. Well, before we get too much further, this is a show still kind of loosely about craft beer and about craft conversations. So let's open something to drink, man.
Sweet.
I know you had mentioned maybe a cider or something. We normally don't do ciders on this show, but I found one.
Well, I'm just a rule breaker.
Right. I found one that says IPA. It's a hard cider IPA. It's called India Pressed Apple.
Yeah, and I think that stuff is made in North Carolina, isn't it?
Bold Rock? I don't know. We're going to find out. I pulled it up here on Untapped, so we'll talk about it real briefly, and then we'll kind of jump back into our conversation.
Sweet.
So this is for you.
Just a rebel when it comes to adult beverages.
Right.
Thank you, Brian.
There you go, sir. There's maybe a little bit left in there, so let's see what this guy is here. Let me pull this up real quick. So India Pressed Apple. I thought it was kind of funny that it said IPA on it. Bold Rock hard cider. It's 4.7% ABV or alcohol by volume. West Coast style dry hop cider featuring Aranum hops, Citra hops.
That's my favorite kind.
Is it? Never seen that word before.
Another rule breaker.
Yeah. Complements the bite of local Granny Smith apples. So
North Carolina?
Well, we're going to look that up too here. Let's see. Bold Rock. Actually, it's Virginia. Nelliesford, Virginia. The cidery.
Just north of North Carolina.
Yeah. That's good. Sounds good. I'm not a big cider drinker, but I might put one in my fridge. I'm going to let you take the rest of those home.
Oh, okay.
And I'll put one in my fridge and I'll try it out. Just so I can say I tried it. I'm going to drink a Park Circle Pale Ale, which is from a Commonworks or Commonhouse Aleworks down in Park Circle.
Oh, that's an awesome place.
Fantastic spot. I know you've played over there.
Yeah.
At least once, right?
Pierce and the crew, good people over there.
Yeah. So I've had this many, many times. I've not had it out of a can yet, but I'm sure it's just as fantastic as on draft. It's 5.5% ABV. Just put these here so maybe people can see them on the camera. And
here's to you.
Cheers, Mark. I appreciate you coming in.
Thank you.
It's been a long time coming.
Appreciate it. You're going to like it.
Is it good?
Yeah.
All right. I'm looking forward to it. I've got another
not quite
one
as
here.
sweet
Maybe,
as some
maybe
of
we'll
the.
trade up or something.
It's not quite as sweet as some of it. That's the problem with the ciders sometimes.
Right.
You know,
This
some
is
of
a dry
those,
one, right?
you know, commercial ones, you know, you hear about all the time.
Yeah.
Can be really super sweet. That's not like that.
Yeah. Well, it says dry hops, so that's probably kind of balances it out with those hops that they put in there. So
they have a it's blackberry cider.
Yeah.
It's really good.
And that's what I wasn't sure about. You know, I was looking at the shelves and I saw some pineapples and blackberries and apples and tangerines. And I'm like, I don't know what. He might not like certain fruits or whatever. So I just tried to stick with the classic apple because I wasn't quite sure.
Yeah, good choice.
So hopefully it works.
Nice, thank you.
Let's go back around real quick if you don't mind. I don't know if you want to talk about this at all or not, but you're a musician is not your day job, right?
It's not. It's not.
So what is?
I think about it all day long, though.
Right. You want it to be your day job, right?
Yeah.
Or maybe not. I don't know.
Whatever I'm doing with it, I'm having a good time.
Right. So what is the day job?
If
you don't mind.
Not at all. I'm a periodontist.
Okay.
I have a practice in West Ashley and building one here in Somerville.
Right. How'd you get started in that? Or what got you interested?
My dad was actually he played a pretty mean blues piano, actually.
Okay.
Dad was a dentist, and I just, grew up with it and, looked like a decent thing to do.
Yeah.
I had actually considered music as a career right out of high school. But you go from the being a big fish in a little pond to a little fish in a big pond. That's sometimes an eye opener.
And you said you went to school in Maryland?
University of Maryland, College Park. Go Terps!
Right. How are they going to do this year? Did you follow college football or any sports?
I don't know how they've done since 19 something.
Okay, so you don't keep up with it.
Well,
yeah,
they had some rough times.
Yeah.
I sold hot dogs at the games. Okay, that's what I did.
Right. Very cool.
Uh-huh.
So how long you been doing? You have your own practice? I mean, I guess it's your own business.
Yeah.
Are you partnered with somebody else?
Yeah, I have my own business. We just celebrated July 1st, 30 years in practice.
Wow, everything's in the 30s with you.
I know.
Yeah.
I wonder what else is going to be, but we opened the practice in 1989.
Okay. July
of 1989, and was right before Hurricane Hugo.
Yep.
So my first welcome to South Carolina was opening a business in Hurricane Hugo coming at me.
Yeah. Did you get affected at all,
well,
business-wise?
Not really. We were in West Ashley, so everyone had a little bit of roof damage in West Ashley. But the thing was not, the physical plant that was the problem. It was just everybody was doing other stuff. Everyone was distracted, putting their lives back together after Hurricane Hugo. So even though I guess the office was okay to work in, but people weren't much doing anything other than all the chainsaw. Were you here?
I was here.
Okay.
Yeah, we were right here in Somerville.
Just, chainsaws going and trying to figure out how to live without electricity for a little while and bottled water and all that kind of stuff, So it was we were probably closed down maybe 6 weeks or so until really enough people were coming back into town. Remember, in West Ashley, I think it was a month that the electricity was offered. It seems like that.
Yeah, it was at least 2 weeks here for sure at my house. Anyway, my parents' house. But.
Yeah, we weren't, ground zero or anything, but it was definitely.
Yeah, you're definitely a lot closer to the water than we are.
Yeah. So, that's what I do. I'm periodontist, and I enjoy that. Get to meet a lot of cool people.
So still, to this day, 30 years later, you still like it?
Yeah.
I guess so. You're opening a second business, though.
Yeah. Well, we see the growth out here in Somerville, and we just love this town. We want to be part of it. Yeah. That's why we're up here.
Good. I'm sure they're going to be glad to have you over there.
We'll do our best.
Yeah. So you said you dabbled in music, high school. You said a little bit.
Yeah, I played band instruments. I played guitar. You know, I was always a guitar player, Brian.
Okay.
And when I went from junior high to high school, the cool thing to play in high school was the stage band, you know, the jazz band.
Mm-hmm.
You know, they played all that Maynard Ferguson and, you know, the stage band, jazz band music, horns, stuff like that.
Were you in the band?
Well, that's the story.
Okay.
Is that I didn't play a band instrument. I just played guitar, you know, in the garage band or whatever. Yeah, I was in the garage band.
Yeah.
So I went to the music director when I went to high school. The way it was up there in Jersey was, I think high school was 10, 11, and 12. I think, yeah, and junior high was 7, 8, 9. Something like that. So I went to high school, and I told the band director I want to try out for guitar for the stage band. And there were other people that wanted to try out, of course, and the only way he would let me try out, Brian, was if I also played a band instrument. In other words, he wanted me to be in the marching band,
right,
in order to kind of qualify to try out for the stage. But I didn't. I didn't play a band instrument, you know. So he said, "Well, you've got the summer. You can learn a band instrument."
Mm-hmm.
So I said, "Okay, which one? What do you want me to take?" So he sent me home with a bassoon and a tuba.
Right.
To figure it out. Bassoon it's not the most popular instrument in the world.
Yeah.
Bassoon is like a giant oboe.
Right, and I'm trying to picture it, but yeah,
it just makes
it's just long, right?
It makes a weird big thing like that.
Yeah.
And like the oboe, it's a double reeded instrument. You know, it's a little unusual in the orchestra.
Does that make it tougher to play with the double reed or versus single? I don't know the difference.
Apparently.
But, yeah.
Yeah, it does. It does. A double reeded instrument is I guess, sorry for you oboe players out there. It's probably easy, but anyway, for someone who never played a band instrument, that was ridiculous, you know. So I tried it, couldn't make a sound out of it. Tuba, I figured the tuba, well, I was in the marching band. You could most of the time just carry the thing and get away with it.
Yeah.
And that's what I ended up doing. So I actually learned how to play the tuba, sousaphone and marching band, tuba and concert band.
And there's no reed in a tuba, right?
There's what?
There's no reed in a tuba.
No, it's a
right?
mouthpiece.
Okay.
That's like as big as
I'm totally ignorant on
No, the mouthpiece is as big as a coffee cup, okay? You can't not blow air into a tube of mouthpiece.
Right.
And so I figured I could learn enough to play it in the marching band and, you know, carry it. I was, you know, strong enough to carry it, the thing.
Yeah.
And so I qualified. But interestingly, what happened was I really enjoyed it. And I went from there and I learned flute, which I really enjoyed playing a flute. And then I learned some piano and trombone. You know, so I learned all those band instruments because of all that experience. You know,
yeah, so it's a good thing that he pushed you into that.
Yeah, and by the way, I did get into the stage band. Otherwise, I probably would have quit the tuba altogether. But I made it into that, which was kind of really a cool thing to be in. And I just enjoyed those instruments. And, you know, then I got to be in the band and hung out with band people, the band homeroom and all that. It was really a great experience. And I admired the music teacher, the band instructor. So I had this idea that I wanted to be a high school music teacher, you know, and, you know, kind of set out on that. And, but, you know, you have to get into a program, you know, at a school like University of Maryland, you have to audition and, you know, you really have to be good at it, not just want to do it. So I wasn't to that point yet.
But I mean, high school, probably not so much, right? I mean, you could get into high school easier than getting into the college program.
Yeah,
as far as teaching.
Well, I mean, but to get into a program, to get accepted to be in the band and get into a music program.
Okay. Yeah.
You have to be proficient at some kind of band instrument.
Right.
You know, and I was, you know, I did okay in the high school band.
Right.
But then when you go up to, you know, the next level, it's a different situation.
Yeah.
You know, you're meeting people that really know how to play the tuba, not just carry it around.
Yeah. Right. Pull that mic in just, sorry, just a little, kind of like a fist from your face. Yeah, I'm just kind of watching the levels a little bit.
It's like a tuba mouthpiece here.
Yeah.
Okay. Better? Ooh.
There you go.
Professional.
Yeah.
But anyway, so that's kind of how but I played guitar in bands all the time.
So with you doing all that, they pushed you into to learning an instrument or various instruments. It sounds like. Did you still keep up with your guitar playing? And I mean, were you trying to balance both things, or did you kind of give up the guitar for a little while and do the whole band thing?
Yeah, no, I played I kept up with the guitar. I had bands just like everyone does in high school, and I played in the weekend in wedding bands.
Okay.
I learned how to, I knew how to read charts and music and all that. So I belonged to like this music company where they did, weddings and events like that. Mm-hmm. So you would go to these different places on the weekend and they'd say, okay, this weekend you're playing here at this club for this wedding reception with XYZ. Here's the charts. Go do it.
Yeah. That's
what I did on the weekends.
Okay. Did you start off knowing how to read music? I mean, or did that happen when you got involved with the band? I mean,
no.
Were you just played by ear to begin with?
No, that's a good question. That's a really good question. I right from the start, I took guitar lessons. I had a uncle who was in the music business up in New Jersey, and he played clubs and a really pretty well-known piano player up there. And so he knew some people, and he found me a teacher. There was this guy. His name was Mickey Vest, and Mickey was like a guitar player who played in all the pit orchestras and stuff in New York. He was a legitimate guitar player, and he took a few students on, kind enough to take me on because of the relationship I had with this uncle of mine. And it was very formal guitar education. I mean, you really learned how to read music. I mean, the books that I was learning to sight read from were like violin books, basically. And there's a lot of notes in those things, and that kind of stuff. So yeah, I learned how to read music and the jazz chords and structures like that right from the beginning. And I think that was really big for me to continue on playing the guitar, like I do now.
Sure.
And, of course, and that was why I was able to get into the stage band there, because I could read all those chords.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I learned how to read music in a really, Mickey Vest, he was a really strict teacher in a good way. You had a lesson, okay? It wasn't like you went in there and said, I want to learn how to play, Smoke on the Water or something, and he would show you. It wasn't like that at all. You had strict lessons and an assignment, and you had to learn this stuff. If he came the next week and you open up the books and play the lessons, and he could sense, of course, he could immediately know whether you'd practice that stuff or not.
Yeah. He'd
get up and leave. That would be your lesson. Until you master this lesson,
right,
we're not going on.
Yeah.
And that happened, on an occasion or two.
Yeah, which is probably a good way to do it, right? I mean, it kind of pisses you off in a little bit of a way, but it also kind of embarrasses you in a little bit of a way as well, and it makes you go back and try harder to learn the lesson and come back the next week.
Yeah,
and please the instructor, right?
Yeah. Well, it was even back then. I recognized that having him available as a teacher was an opportunity, that I could take advantage of. Could have done some more probably, but anyway. But yeah. To answer your question, no, I learned how to read music right from the beginning, right. Which I think is a really good, solid foundation.
Right. Now, can you do both? I mean, I'm not a musician. I talk to a lot of musicians, but I don't know everything about it. Can you do both? Can you read music and play by ear? I mean, is that kind of a balanced thing, or is it one or the other?
No, well, I think I can't speak for anyone else. Hey, look, I know there's some awesome musicians, obviously, that have never taken a lesson, so.
Right.
I can only speak for myself, in that I feel that the things I learned in that formal way, chords and chord structure and scales and all that, is whatever I'm able to do now is because of that.
Right. But I mean, wouldn't, like if you go sit in and jam with somebody says, hey, Mark, come up here and play with us. You can just kind of feel and get into the groove and play their music by ear, or do you have to have something in front of you that's showing you what they want you to play?
No, it depends on the music. I mean, like this stuff that I'm talking about at the wedding bands and those kind of things. you can't really play that stuff by ear. Those are jazz standards that you're playing. You go to weddings, you're going to hear the same 30 songs at every wedding you go to, even back then.
Yeah.
But if you're at a jam session and people are playing tunes that you're vaguely familiar with or whatever, most people are able to just kind of pick it right up.
Right. I mean, I see a lot of times, I hang out with Fleming and all these guys doing jams and open mics and whatever, and a lot of people they'll just call out a key, right? Like we're going to be in the key of B or the C or D or whatever, and that's pretty much all you need to know, really?
Yeah, well, and that gives you, so they tell you what key the song is in, and that kind of restricts the number of chords that you're going to use. You're playing the key of G, well, for folk music, you're likely to be playing these X number of chords.
Okay. All right. Like I said,
It's
I
a
look like I play music, so I got a drum set, I got a guitar here, but I don't play either one of them. It's
just going to get on that thing?
My plan was to do it, but I haven't done it yet.
I want to hear the solo from, what is it, Come Together,
All right, I'll work on it.
But, everything you do is just another building block. So, I don't know whether if I hadn't had those lessons or not, whether I would be able to do that stuff that you're talking about.
Right.
But, the other thing is watching what the other guys are doing. Watch their hands.
Yeah, I see that a lot, too. When I watch them play, when I'm at homegrown or wherever, I see them just kind of piecing it together, and they say, okay, this is where he's going, this is where she's going, whatever. Yeah.
Hey, you know what? It's music. Nobody gets hurt.
Right. That's a good point.
Yeah. It's cider. Nobody gets hurt.
That's a good point as well. Yeah. So, since we're talking about music, and I know you're 40 Mile Detour, that's what we're here to promote, but what's the progression? I mean, how did you get from the band and playing garage bands, playing wedding music? Where did that go from there? Did you start a band somewhere else? Was there other inclinations, or not inclinations, other aspects of bands before this thing happened? I mean,
pretty much after. Pardon me. I played in college. I played some coffee houses and things like that. We had I had a little duo there up at University of Maryland. We were called Bob and Mark.
Okay.
Interestingly, his name was Bob the other day.
Well, yeah, I would hope so.
Bob could sing, but pardon me. So we did coffee houses and stuff like that. But at that point in my life, it was mostly studying. That I was really doing. And then through dental school, I didn't really do a whole lot. Pardon me. I've kept up with the. I've played guitar almost my whole life pretty much. And then what happened was, and I just started playing guitar. One night, this was back in 2008, something like that, maybe 2009, 2008, something like that. A guy that I know from around town, this is funny, I think it's funny, called me up on the phone one night, and it was like a Friday or Saturday night, and said, "Hey, Mark, you play guitar, don't you? Just somebody I know from around town."
Right.
And he said, I said, yeah, sure. And I play guitar. He goes, "Well, our guitar player can't make it out tonight. Can you come play in our band tonight?" Mm-hmm. I guess he thought I played in bands and stuff like that. I really didn't at that time. I just, I had a guitar in the house.
Yeah, you and Bob.
Yeah. Bob, sadly, Bob passed away. But
oh, that's
after college. But anyway, so
yeah.
Mark's here, though, to carry it on.
Right.
So this guy called me, and he says, our guitar player is... He didn't know anything really about me. He just knew me from around town. Can you come out and play? And I'm like, without even thinking, yeah, hell yeah, I'm there, It was a country band. They're still playing around, Mason-Dixon band.
Okay.
Mason-Dixon band. And so I ended up playing with those guys for like 3 or 4 years. I played guitar, rhythm guitar, and mandolin.
All right, so it was a good thing then.
Yeah, it was fun, and that kind of got me started again playing out. And then that was kind of how I got back into music at this point in my life.
Yeah.
And then.
So was that the name of their band then, the Mason-Dixon band?
Yeah,
or whatever?
Still is. Yeah, they play around.
Okay.
They're like a cool guys, super cool guys. Country cover band, Southern rock, stuff like that.
Right. Now, and you classify yourself as Americana music, I guess, right?
Yeah. So what happened after...
At this point.
Yeah, so what happened after that was...
I guess my question for what that statement is, have you always been into Americana, country, folk?
Yeah, you know.
Because I know some people, you know, they do some stuff now, and before they were in a screamo band or something. Now they're doing something totally different.
I was in a wedding band before.
Right. So it's been the similar progression all the way up.
You know, the stuff I listened to growing up was Crosby, Stills, Nash and Young. You know, that kind of music. Jackson Browne, James Taylor. You know, that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
You know, Marshall Tucker, that kind of music.
Okay.
You know, Pure Prelude, love Pure Prelude.
Never heard of that one.
Yeah, that's just back in the day, Poco, Eagles, that kind of music.
Okay.
Definitely more on the folky side of things.
Right. All right. So where do we go from there after Mason Dixon?
So Ellen, one thing I enjoy doing hobby-wise and kind of another passion I have, I like road cycling.
Okay.
So we used to do these trips.
That was one of my notes here, motorcycles.
Well, not motorcycle,
okay.
Cycling.
Like bicycle.
Bicycling,
okay.
pedaling, yeah. Leg power. So we did some cycling trips up in the Pacific Northwest, Crater Lake and that kind of stuff up there where there's hills, you know, not just the bridge, but hills.
Where is that? Is that
Crater Lake
near Washington or something? Or
Oregon.
Yeah,
beautiful up there.
Okay.
And we've been to Glacier National Park, also Mount Rainier, stuff like that, cycling.
Mm-hmm.
That's my thing, not Elliot's. So we went on a trip, and you know, the payback was she got to choose something that we could do, and she found this festival called Cayamo, Cayamo. Cayamo is a music festival at sea. It's like on a cruise ship,
right.
One of these rock boat things.
I think that's one of my notes as well.
Yeah. So she took
Songwriter cruise or something like
yes,
that, right? Yeah.
Yes. And she took me like the first year we went. We're getting ready to go this coming February for our 12th year in a row.
Very nice.
Yeah, so she took me on this thing the first year. I didn't really know much about the music. You know, most of the people that are on it kind of fly under the radar and like that. Headliners, though, great headliners. Indigo Girls were headliners that year. Lyle Lovett, people like that.
Yeah,
Sean
nice.
Mullins is the main guy on the ship. But I went on this thing, Brian, and I got exposed to some music that I'd never heard before. You know, for example, there's this Nashville songwriter, monster guitar player, Daryl Scott, his name is. Daryl's a hit writer, you know. He amazing songwriter, amazing guitar player, phenomenal guitar player. Check him out, Daryl Scott, Darrell.
Yes,
Scott.
I'll put some notes down eventually here.
Okay.
Look up a lot of stuff.
Yeah, and just as an aside, I'm bringing a friend in October 19th, a friend of mine named Sarah Trunzo from Nashville, who actually I met at a weekend song retreat with Daryl Scott up in Nashville several years ago. And she's burning up the Americana world right now. You know, and actually this guy, Daryl Scott, definitely check his stuff out. I know you've heard some of it before.
Okay.
He's written some of Travis Tritt's hits and stuff like that. Actually appears on her CD. She's going to come do Studio 117 on October 19th.
Okay. That's probably why I've heard it then, yeah, because I got that on my list.
Yeah, I think she's going to support Danielle out there on that night.
Okay.
Anyway, so this is how things connect, you know?
Yeah.
Anyway, so, and I got so inspired by some of the stuff that I heard there that I thought, wow, you know, there's some really good stuff going out here I want to learn more about. And I started writing back then. You know, I'd done a little writing before then, but I just kind of connected with some of these folks and went down to Nashville and did some not seminars, but some weekend retreats and co-writes and stuff like that. And it really jump-started my writing stuff that I did because of that cruise. And then we've continued to go on since then.
And this was pre 40 Mile or the cruise stuff?
The cruise was the first cruise. Yeah, we're going on our 12th, was pre 40 Mile Detour.
Okay.
So what happened was I started writing because of that inspiration, and then several years later, with the songs that I had accumulated, I put together a CD, and it was produced by Jay Clifford of Jump Little Children downtown.
Oh, very nice.
Yeah, Jay did a
I
phenomenal.
remember those guys back in the 90s.
Super cool guy. Jay's a great. Now he does mostly. Jump Little Children's kind of gotten together a little bit. They've done some stuff around, but he mostly a producer.
Yeah.
And I brought him the songs, and someone had introduced us. That's how it goes. And I brought him the songs, and he liked those that I brought him. He produced a CD, and I just had this 40 Mile Detour idea, kind of I can tell you where that came from, but we just called the CD 40 Mile Detour.
Okay.
That was the title of the CD. There were 4 tunes on it. I guess you call it an EP.
Yeah.
There were 4 tunes on it. And we just titled it 40 Mile Detour. And that's kind of where it all started from there. So then when I started the band, I decided to call it 40 Mile Detour.
Right. And it stuck.
Yeah. Yeah, I got too much stuff with it printed on it now.
Excuse me. Yeah, right. How long ago was that now? So you said 12 years, 11 years?
The CD, I think, was 2010.
Okay.
Something like that.
Yeah.
It's called 40 Mile Detour. It's still on the interweb there. You can still find it on iTunes.
Yeah. What are the 4 tracks on it? Do you remember?
One track is called Nashville, which we still play. There's a tune called Too Few Lucky Dice, which we still play. The other tune is let's see. Anyway, the third tune is called Boots. And dang it, I can't remember the name of the 4th tune.
That's all right. I didn't mean to stop.
Oh, yeah, that's right. No, I got it. Maybe Next Time.
Okay.
But it all started with the song Boots. That's how it all started.
Yeah.
That was it.
Right. And you still play that one too?
No.
you don't go back to the one you started with. Then.
Well, it some songs have, it's crazy, I know, but some songs just have a place where they belong. Mm-hmm. And that one just belongs.
It's a different time.
Different time.
Yeah.
I love Boots though. The song Boots, which is really what that CD is, that EP is all about, really came from one of these cycling trips that I went on. We were out on a trip on up at Crater Lake, mm-hmm. Brian, and the place that we were staying for the evening. This is up in the mountains. We're lowlanders here. We don't know how to ride on hills. Anyway, tough day of riding in the saddle, and the place we were staying at for the evening was a bed and breakfast. Actually, no, a little national park lodge, Lake McDonald, somewhere in northern Montana. It was 20 miles from the Canadian border. Mm. So after riding X number of hard miles already, I thought it was a cute idea. Well, after dinner, I'm going to get on my bike and just ride up and see what the border looks like, which was 20 miles away.
Yeah.
And 20 miles there and 20 miles back is 40 miles. And it was just really an inspirational thing for me. And if you listen to the song Boots, you can hear, I hope you can hear some of the Montana Rockies kind of skyline in there. And,
So is that the name then? I mean, 40 mile. That's a 40 mile detour that you took back and forth, maybe.
Well, that's how I came to the name 40 Mile Detour.
Yeah, awesome.
Because on that 40 Mile Detour came the inspiration to write this song Boots.
Yeah,
which got this CD going, got Jay Clifford interested in the thing, and then that's all.
Yeah, that's a good story.
Yeah. But listen to the song. I love that song, but it's not really a 40 Mile Detour song to play.
Yeah. Will you ever play it again?
Yeah. I mean, I do all the time at home.
Okay. I got you. So, all right. So let's go from there. I mean, what's the next evolution? I mean, did you have a standard set of people in the band, and has it changed? How many people have come and gone? I know you got some new additions here as of late, within the past few years or so. But
yeah, and I think I'm so happy with who's in the band right now.
Yeah. It seems to be a really well put together group.
We enjoy each other's company, and everybody's smiling all the time. Which is good, and we strive to be. We play covers. We do that, but we I strive to do as much original music as possible, and it just takes the right folks to do that. It just takes the right folks to do that. We have Crystal Halverson singing, and Crystal's an amazing singer. I know you've heard Crystal sing. She plays guitar and banjo and a little mandolin thing we have, and and adding when we were recording this CD, 40 Mile, the Ain't No Devil CD, we needed felt like we needed a female voice on some of the songs, and that's how we met Crystal.
Okay.
She was introduced to us from the studio producer.
And prior to that, you were the lead singer?
Yeah, it was me. It was just me.
Yeah. I mean, is she considered the lead singer now, or is it just kind of a dual role for you guys?
I say dual.
Okay.
One of the songs that I picked to listen to, we're both singing, and that's my favorite.
Yeah.
For me, singing, and I'll sing lead on some, and she'll, she does the harmonies and some of the super cool background stuff that she does. So it I guess I'm the lead singer when I'm singing lead, and she's the lead singer when she's singing lead. But we like to split it up, and the CD is full of splitting it up.
Right, and I feel like that's the way a lot of good bands do it, right? I mean, there's not just a lead singer, but that can be good too, I guess. But there's a lot of bands out there that kind of share those roles, and somebody pick a song and they play it, somebody else picks another song and they sing on it, but.
Well, what I found is...
As long as they can sing, I guess. That makes a difference.
Or play the guitar. But what I found, though, it stretches the possibility of what you can do.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, if you got a person here with this range and then someone with that range, then it really expands what you can do.
Right.
Yeah.
And this is a full CD, not an EP.
This is a full CD.
How many songs are on?
There's 12 on here.
Nice.
And I just want to acknowledge the rest of the guys. Mike Sparks on guitar. Mike is really super cool guy, great guitar player. I know you've heard his. He's just such a talented, tasteful guitar player.
Yeah,
really good. One of the best guitar players I've ever played with. Honestly, probably the best. Mike is a super cool guy to hang with.
Yeah.
Somerville local and favorite Scott Tucker's on drums with us, and Scott. With the Americana vibe, there's a definite kind of rhythm section thing that has to go on there.
Sure.
It's not Led Zeppelin kind of thing happening. And Scott is really, really good with that. And then
the drummer keeps the time, right? For the most part.
Drummer keeps the time.
Yeah.
Yeah. Which when you're dealing with a singer-songwriter like myself can be a challenge. When you're up there with yourself just playing the guitar, you can kind of go anywhere you want with you can slow it down. Watch Fleming or whoever's at Homegrown. You'll see there's a lot of flexibility in how you present a tune that way. But when you're playing with a band, you got to have, everyone's got to be on the same beat at the same time. I think Scott's really good at that.
Yeah.
And our bass player, John Aleworks, is a super, super good bass player. Really enjoy playing with John. And we have Ellie Jose on fiddle. She's the newest 40 miler.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I don't know if I've seen her yet.
She's been with us at the past couple of coastal shows.
Okay. Yeah, I've been able to make those because they're all nights that I work. So she'll
be with us Saturday night.
Okay. So how many pieces are coming Saturday? We'll get into that.
Yeah.
Of course. But so you just want to dive right into it? Studio 117?
Studio 117. We're so excited about this show. Don't get many listening room opportunities, and really glad to be part of it. Saturday night, 7:30, 8?
Yeah, they keep varying. Fleming is.
If you want to see,
he's
come
really
at 7:30.
But yeah, 7:30. I would say get there for sure.
Yeah.
And we're gonna have how many pieces? Are you going to have all 5 people there? Or 6 people now, I guess, right?
Yeah, no, we're going to kind of cut it down a little bit. We're going to have myself, I'll be there for sure. Mike Sparks will be there, Crystal, and we'll have Ellie. And on an acoustic show, we have a fellow that does some acoustic gigs with us named Arnold Gottlieb. Arnold plays a really nice stand-up bass.
Okay.
You know, so I thought that would fit the vibe of that room, so that's what we're going to do.
Okay.
Arnold.
So no percussion, but
No
you'll have the bass to kind of fill that space.
Well, we've got a little kick pedal, a floor pedal tom thing that Crystal
That's
uses.
right. I've seen that for you.
And you know, some tasty tambourine work and stuff like that. We'll probably have some of that. But Arnold's going to be on stand-up bass. Arnold's a really fine bass player. You know, he comes from the Northeast. Arnold plays in all those Broadway bands and Broadway shows and stuff like that.
Right.
So, you know, if you want to hear some stand-up bass playing, come hear Arnold.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting. It'll be the first time I've seen that too, so I'm excited for that.
Arnold's appears on the CD.
Okay. And we're going to have Chance and Circumstance will be opening up for you guys.
Yeah, we've really connected with those guys here. CK Chance is the lady there, and great singer, and those guys write their own material too.
Right.
And Jig Wiggler, who plays guitar and sings keyboard and stuff like that. Really got some nice original stuff. And
well, they just started doing that because, you know, a year ago, they had reached out to me to see if they could come on the show. And at the time, they were just doing covers. And I said, do you have any original music? And they said no. Uh-huh. And at the time, we were kind of afraid to let people come in and play cover tunes. We didn't know what the implications were for that. And, you know, we're not making any money on this podcast. So it doesn't make a difference. They can't sue us for making money off of somebody's
licensing.
Music or whatever. So, but yeah, they're going to be coming in sometime in the near future, hopefully in September or something, to sit down and maybe play some tunes for me here in the studio.
Yeah, so it's a treat.
So I'm looking forward to it.
I can't wait to, you know, actually Jig and I have been doing some writing together. And, you know, so you might hear some of this stuff in the future anyway that we're writing together right now.
Right.
Yeah.
Any plans on to collaborate at all during the show this Saturday, or you're just going to do two separate things?
You know, we talked about it. You know, we want to put something out there when it's ready to be heard. You know, so probably not.
Yeah. Okay. So yeah, like you mentioned, 7:30 to 10:30ish, I guess, is what we normally run. 8 to 10 is kind of the time frame, but usually people start a little early and leave a little late. So it's going to be a good time. You can get your tickets at bummerville.com, or you can get them at the door there at Homegrown Brewhouse. So
good.
Yeah.
Well, y'all come. I mean, come hear the show. I mean, come here, Chance and Circumstance, and then 40 Mile Detour will be after that.
Yeah, I think it's going to be fantastic. Well, going back to you guys, 40 Miles. So when you write a song, so you're the main songwriter for the band, or does everybody kind of pitch in?
So, you know, I'm the, I guess you would say, principal songwriter. You know, but generally the way it works is I put together a skeleton of like I think, again, one of the tunes you have there, Following You South.
Right, we'll play a couple of them here.
Okay. That's a good example of that, where I will basically come up with a chord progression and lyrics, you know, kind of thing like that. And then everybody then kind of send it on to everyone. Hey, Mike, what can you do with this? You know, or Crystal, what are you hearing harmony-wise on this? Right,
and that was going to be my question. I mean, you sit there just with an acoustic guitar and kind of hum these things out to yourself, and then you send them around to everybody on an MP3 file or something?
Yeah.
Is everybody in the room? How does the magic happen?
Usually like that. Usually I'll record my stuff in a like a GarageBand program. If I have an idea for a bass line, I might put it on there. If I have an idea for a guitar riff, I might put it on there. And so I'll record that as an MP3, you know, Dropbox it, and then send it off to everyone. And then, you know, at whatever rehearsal comes up, you know, we kind of have an itinerary for the rehearsal. And then everyone kind of brings their ideas, and we just kind of see what flies. You know, and we play live a lot. You know, we play out a lot.
Yeah.
So what ends up happening is these songs kind of grow as you play them. I would doubt that they come out the same, you know, when you're rehearsing it for the first time as a band in the band room versus the way it's going to sound Saturday night.
Right. So when you get a CD version of this song, it might have had 30 changes.
Totally.
Yeah.
Exactly right. They just grow. I mean, you can't, you know, these songs don't, in my view, these songs don't really live until you play them out. Because, sometimes a little magic happens. Mike will just, end up with a lick just doing his improvising. And I'm like, wow.
Yeah.
I like that.
Let's keep that.
And he records every show, every song. So it's
I've seen him. He's got a little tiny little player.
Every show, every song.
Yeah.
And if something kind of magic happens there, then we can recall it and we'll just do it again and again, and it just builds. And that's what, I guess you could say the song is written when you write the chords down and sing it and decide on what the final lyrics are going to be, Brian.
Yeah.
But they end up here after playing them out a lot, and some don't make the cut,
Right. And you guys, do you just go to your house and practice these things, or do you have a studio that you go to? I mean, where do you go?
It kind of depends. I mean, we recorded the CD with Omar Cologne over in Fairweather Studio over on James Island.
Okay.
And I really enjoyed having our rehearsals in his rehearsal space over there. Yeah. He sets up the full PA for us. We can play as loud as we want, kind of thing like that, and record the whole thing.
Right.
So that, or we can rehearse at the house sometime too.
Yeah. Do you have a studio set up in your house?
Yeah, I do.
Yeah. And you got you're picking your house here in Nexton with the plans of putting a studio in there.
I hope so. Yeah, I think so.
Yeah,
I think so. I just need a little room for the guitars to live,
Right.
But we enjoy doing our rehearsals, full band rehearsals. Now sometimes we'll rehearse, we'll just rehearse as the rhythm section, where if I have new tunes or stuff we're learning, I'll just rehearse with John and Scott, and we'll kind of have that part of it rehearsing, and then prior to a full band rehearsal, kind of work some stuff out that way, where not everybody has to be in the same room at the same time.
Yeah. And I see that a lot, right? I mean, has it always been that way, or did everybody used to always get together? It seems like everybody records their sections separately. Like for your CD, do you get in a room and you're all together doing it? Or is there the drummer's in a separate room and the guitarist is in this other room? How do you do it?
Some of it is tracked and some of it is live.
Okay, so that's the difference. Tracked is where you're all separate.
That's the term I'm going to use for maybe we've laid down a basic drum and bass and acoustic guitar track, and then lead guitar, keys, whatever will come in after that, recorded separately, or vocals.
Yeah.
Versus live, where everyone is playing at the same time, right in the studio at the same time.
Is one better than the other? One harder than the other? I mean, what do you prefer?
Well, the thing about tracking is that you can do your takes over and over again. You can do your little parts if you want.
Sure.
Usually when you're playing it live, you're going to have to play it from beginning to end numerous times to get the right kind of cut. Because you're not, usually when you're playing it live, unless you're listening to a click track or a timer, it's going to be hard to edit those things, versus doing tracking where you're listening to a click track that doesn't vary in speed.
Okay.
But actually, some of my favorite tunes on this CD were recorded live.
Yeah.
And we have videos of those on our YouTube channel, by the way, 40 Mile Detour YouTube channel.
Okay.
Yeah. Some of the live, actually some of those videos we made when we were recording some of the tunes on this CD live. Okay. And those, I think, I have to say, are my favorite ones.
And the YouTube channel, it's just a lot of that stuff. I mean, a lot of studio stuff, a lot of mishaps, comedy. I mean, what are we going to see on your YouTube channel?
You're going to see the studio live recordings. You're going to see a bunch of live 40 Mile Detour performances. My wife Ellen does all the video, most 99% of the videotaping and editing. She's a great photographer. She does all the photography for the website. Ellen's a really good photographer. She won the Spoleto photography contest one year.
Nice.
Yeah, so she kind of knows what she's doing.
Yeah.
And
that's good to have in your back pocket.
Yeah. And so the video, it's really a mixed bag of stuff. There's some cell phone videos and some good ones. We're going to have a buddy of mine, Ryan Jones, who Ryan's a great videographer, works a lot with ESPN, and he's in town this weekend. He's going to come video Studio 117 Friday, Saturday night.
Very nice.
Yeah. So we'll have something to show people, and you'll have something. You guys will have something you could show. What the vibe of 117 is like.
Right.
Yeah. No, Brian.
I mean,
Brian. Yeah, he'll He'll come with a wide-angle camera. He'll be out of the, sit there back of the room and get some good stuff. He did some of the. We did a show at the Queen Street Playhouse with Allendale Green, and he recorded that. Came out really good.
Yeah. We talked earlier about connections and all these kind of things and how everything kind of gels together. I mean, that's kind of what makes this whole scene, that we're trying to create in Somerville happen. You guys coming in, photographers coming in. I mean, all these people promoting and cross-promoting and doing all these different things. So that's awesome.
It's community.
Appreciate you bringing them in.
Yeah, man. It's going to be great.
And speaking of locations and stuff, I just saw this today, so I was going to bring it up. But I know I've seen you a couple times over there at Bow Ties. It seems to be a place that you guys like to play quite often. But did I just see something? They just sold the place?
Bow Ties closed.
It's closed, so it's not even open anymore.
It's no longer open.
Okay. Well, that's unfortunate.
Yeah.
Yeah. That was a good gig for you guys.
When one door closes, another opens.
That's true. Yeah. Studio 117.
That's right. That's right.
Yeah.
Yeah, we played there regular about 2 years.
Yeah. It was a cool spot. I enjoyed it.
Yeah, it was, and people, stuff comes and goes, man. It's just the way it is.
Right. Yeah, comes and goes quite often. And, we're lucky. I say we, Homegrown Brew House, we just celebrated 6 years. So we're lucky to have stood the test of time there in the square because we see businesses come and go all day long.
Yeah, and you've seen the people that have supported you.
Yeah.
Right, and we feel that way about the Bow Ties group. That we played there almost every other Saturday for almost 2 years.
Right.
And that kind of that kind of got the core of the band really tight, I think. Yeah. And let us stretch out and do some stuff.
Right. Well, that's unfortunate.
It'll open to something else, and
yeah, they'll do
be somewhere else to hang out.
Let's we've talked about the CD, we've talked about some of the songs. I know normally we do some live performance in here, but you made a suggestion. Hey, let's just kind of promote some of the MP3s off the album because you want to promote the album, so that's what we're going to do.
Yeah.
What I plan on doing is putting maybe a song on the intro of this podcast, like the actual MP3. Bring it up, maybe put one as the outro and have a song on each end of it. But what I'd like to do is maybe just play a little snippet of a couple of these songs and maybe do kind of like a singer, songwriter, storyteller type thing. Maybe you can tell me how that song came about or how you wrote that song or what the inspiration or whatever was for it.
Awesome.
That sound good?
Yeah. I wanted to, while we're talking about the CD, I wanted to, if you don't mind, there's a couple people I definitely wanted to
your show.
thank. Oh, yeah. So I mentioned Omar Colon over there at Fairweather. Great studio. Great. And Omar,
James Island, you said?
It's in James Island, all the way out towards Folly. And Omar is a killer drummer. And actually, he appears on one of these tracks and actually sings on one track also.
Okay.
But we record on the Spectrum Music Group label, so I wanted to thank the Spectrum Music Group for their support on all this.
Where are they out of?
They're really all over LA, New York, Charleston. There's an office here.
Okay.
So great bunch of people. Wanted to thank them. And a couple of I wanted to mention. I've already mentioned the band. One individual in particular I wanted to mention that appears on the CD. Daniel Walker. I don't know if I've got him on any of the tracks that we picked. Daniel is a touring keyboard player and accordion player. And actually, we met Daniel on one of the Cayamo cruises. He was there playing with a band. I forget who he was playing there with. On this cruise, they have these contests for the cruisers. Okay, and where
the cruisers, you mean the people that are just there on the boat?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
The boat is a charter, so everyone that there is either an artist. They have people like Steve Earle, John Prine, Bruce Hornsby, Ricky Skaggs, Lyle Lovett. Cool people. Mm-hmm. Actually, some of the people, Brian, that we brought in folks from Lyle Lovett's band to do house concerts in our home over in West Ashley. It's just how all that works,
Yeah.
So one year we actually won the open mic original song contest on the cruise, mm-hmm. which was really a cool thing to have happen.
Yeah.
And as a result of that, we got our own set on the ship. And we had met this guy Daniel. You know, these artists, Steve Earle. You know, you can see him in the gym right there on the boat. You know, so you get really to interact with these people. So this guy Daniel was just someone we kept seeing online at the buffet, and you know, Ellen never met a stranger, and we just got to know this guy. And he actually ended up sitting in with us on our set on the ship, you know, on accordion, which was so much fun. We were recording the CD, and I knew that I needed an organ player, you know, B3, Hammond B3 player, an accordion player. And I noticed just by happenstance that he was going to be in town playing at the Charleston Music Hall with Ann Wilson of harp. Mm-hmm. And actually he's touring with harp right now.
Very nice.
Yeah, cool guy. So Daniel, we worked it all out when they came into town. When he was here with Ann Wilson, he came to the studio and recorded with us. Nice. Yeah, it was so much fun. Yeah, it was so much fun. And he, you know, now he's up there playing with harp. So come back, Daniel.
Yeah.
But
that's amazing.
Yeah, and you know, and that's just how it is, man.
Yeah. Before we get into some of these tunes, we're back to the boat again. So any cool stories or mishaps on the boat that you can talk about? I mean, what's something you can bring up that was pretty crazy, pretty wild?
Oh man.
There's probably many stories, I'm sure.
Well, the first night, and this was the first show of the first night. You know, they have venues of all kind of different sizes there. You know, big stage, little, you know, bar type thing.
Yeah.
This, you know, and I say this band from the 80s or 90s because I never followed them, Collective Soul.
Okay.
You know.
Definitely heard of them.
Okay. So one of the artists on the boat was Ed Roland. Ed Roland's one of the brothers who founded Collective Soul, and he was there as a solo artist. You know, so he was doing an acoustic set.
Yeah.
About 200 people in the room. The video of this is somewhere on the internet. So halfway through his set, you know, he's a rocker. You know, he's not really an acoustic guitar player, talented musician. But halfway through the set, he said, "Anyone out there in the audience?" He said, "Anyone out there in the audience want to come up and play guitar with me?" You know, and I didn't know any of his songs or anything. Nobody raised their hand. You know, so he's like, "Come on, someone out there has to want to come up here and play guitar with me." This was the first night of this cruise, 12 years ago. So I raised my hand. And I'm like, "Okay, well, come on up," you know. And he's like, "Well, do you know any of my songs?" I don't even really know who the guy is, actually.
Right.
So that was slightly embarrassing. I just kind of raised my hand before I thought. And then he showed me this song. It's called December. You've heard it 1,000 times.
Yeah.
On the radio, probably in the dentist office.
Yeah.
Elevator. It's called December. If you play a little track of it, everyone's heard it. So he showed me how to do this little riff, and you know, I caught onto it immediately because I recognized the song. Like, okay, I know this tune.
Right.
And it was just, I mean, that was a blast. So got to interact with Ed Roland that way. Fast forward a couple of years, he came to town to do another solo show downtown, and Ellen and I went, you know, and we you know, kind of sought him out there. They had a little meet and greet and something like that, and you know, got to talk to him. This was a few years later, and he brought me up on stage.
Yeah.
To play that song with him in front of all the hometown crowd, which was kind of fun.
Awesome. Yeah,
but there's, you know, you get to meet people like Steve Earle, and I did a little songwriting mentoring with Steve Earle and stuff like that, and just a cool experience. So that Kayamo is really the heart of my songwriting situation.
Nice. All right. So we're back. You guys won't know if we had to take a small break here, but so we're back on. We're going to do 2 songs, I guess we decided.
Sure.
We'll do 2 songs. I'm just going to play them just right here over the mic. And what I'd like to do is just play a little snippet, and then I'd like to hear your backstory, kind of a storyteller type, VH1 storytellers, you know, whatever.
Yeah.
Give me the input on how that song came about and what it means to you, whatever.
Okay.
What do you want to say about it? Which one do you want to start with?
How about Pour Me a Strong One?
All right, let's do that one. So let's see here. Well, come on. Oh, you know what it is? Hold on. I've still got my earbud on over here. That's why it's playing through my earbud and not through my phone.
Uh-oh.
Technical difficulties.
Technology,
guys.
man.
Yeah. Let's disconnect that earbud. And let's try again. Take two. All right. I love that song, by the way. It's a great song.
Yeah, Pour Me a Strong One.
Yeah.
Play me an old country song.
So let's hear about it.
Well, like I said, we do shows, different places, play a lot of cover tunes, and yeah, good. And we do a couple of Johnny Cash songs, but I don't know what it was, but we were just going through a streak, and everybody was asking for Johnny Cash. Maybe it was the way we look, what we play, guitar, whatever. People were just asking. Maybe it was the male-female singer thing going on there, or whatever. But we just somehow it seemed like people wherever we were playing were asking for Johnny Cash. Yeah. And we knew a couple of tunes. We played Folsom Prison, pretty much like everyone else. So what I decided to do was, we don't know that many Johnny Cash songs. I'm going to write a song that's got some Johnny Cash references in it. Okay. And that's how that song came about. Excellent. So the line is, dust off them Johnny Cash records. It's a fine line that I'm walking on. And then in the bridge, I can hear a train coming, rolling around the bend. Mm-hmm. Something they're hard to think of out of context, but yeah. So the idea of the song was, I'm gonna put some Johnny Cash references into a song and see if that doesn't fly. Right. All these songs except Pour Me a Strong One were written by myself. This Pour Me a Strong One was written by myself and my wife Ellen. Okay. I was sitting in the studio, making some notes about this song. I had the Pour Me a Strong One idea, and I had the Johnny Cash lines. And she had come in to ask me to honeydew something around the house. And my way out of, I guess, changing air filters or whatever it was, what, why don't you just sit down and help me write this song? Let's see how easy this is. And then, 90 minutes later, we had the song. So she gets credit on the CD for that. Excellent. Yeah. How often does that happen where you all co-write something together? About as often as I change air filters in the house. So this is very rare. This is it, man. Yeah, that's awesome. Yeah. That's very cool. And that's kind of why I wanted to do that, and you kind of hear the story behind it, because to me that makes the song so much better. I love that VH1 storytellers when they used to do that back in the day. It makes you appreciate the song and the story so much better. Well, there's some foundation there, and that the best songs are that there's something going on there, Yeah. And it's weird. The weird thing is, everybody gets in their own head what they think the song is about. That's all right. And then once you hear the story, you're like, oh, that's what it's about. Yeah, well, everyone's going to tell. Don't mesh. That's right. Well, everyone's going to tell their story except Bob Dylan. Yeah. But, think about that. When I think about what you're saying, that somehow, maybe it's in a spiritual way, but somehow when a song has, and I'm not talking about Pour Me a Strong One, but But when a song has some foundation to it, something substantial where it came from, somehow it resonates with people. You know, and when I think of that concept, I think about a song like The Wreck of the Edmund Fitzgerald. You know, that's a pretty powerful song.
Yeah.
They're pretty much, I mean, if you were even remotely alive, then you know everybody knows that song. He had to have spent a ton of time researching The Wreck of the Edmund Fitzgerald, learning about it, putting little references here and there into the song about it, you know, versus just, oh yeah, there's a song about a boat that sank, you know.
Right.
So yeah, they all come from somewhere, you know, even if it's a little bit, you know, like Boots.
Right.
Boots had a very specific inspiration, and then here it comes.
Very cool. I love it. I love it. Before we get into the next one, though, I want to ask you about, because every time I go see you guys, I always ask for you to play this song, Whiskey, Cigarettes, and Gasoline.
Oh yeah, yeah.
So tell me a little bit about that song. Why do you not play it that often?
Uh-huh.
Is it on a CD anywhere? I mean, what's the story on that song?
Whiskey, Cigarettes, and Gasoline. So there's a character named Rita who travels through a lot of my songs.
Okay.
Right now there's 3 of them. So there's kind of a storyline, you know, so I decided that I kind of needed like a mascot or something, you know. Anyway, so there's just 3 songs that revolve around this character named Rita. Mm-hmm. And Whiskey, Cigarettes, and Gasoline is one of the songs. Okay. That's on our set list Saturday night. Okay. Actually. Yeah. You know, sitting here, it's hard to. I'm thinking of the lyrics that might point out where Rita is in the song, but she doesn't appear by name. In one of our songs, she does, but you sit here try to think about the lyrics out of context. It's hard.
Yeah.
I go, I can't. You know, give me where's you got a guitar here somewhere, but
right.
But yeah, she's a redhead from Georgia.
Okay. Yeah. Very cool. And I'll link that because I think it's on YouTube, right? Haven't I seen it on YouTube somewhere?
It's on YouTube. Probably a live version of it.
Yeah.
But I imagine that we'll record that song because it musically it's interesting too because it has, you know, unlike a lot of our things, it has some interesting time changes.
Yeah, it's got some progressions, like some different levels or something to it.
Yeah.
You know, yeah. It's very interesting.
Yeah, it's a little different than, you know, kind of what we do normally, but it has, in my unbiased opinion, has some interesting twist to it musically that I like to hear.
Yeah. Okay, very cool. I just wanted to interject with that one. That's one of my favorites. But,
yeah. The other 2 songs that Rita appears in, by the way, are is called Hell Bent and Half Spent, A Crooked Smile, She Said They Call Me Rita. She's in Hell Bent and Half Spent, and also there's another tune which we also have on the set list Saturday night called Hell's Freezing Over. Okay. She appears in that song also.
All right. Okay. Let's go on to the next one. So this one's called Following You South.
Yeah.
So we'll play a little snippet of this and you can tell us a little bit about it. Here we go.
This is Crystal singing lead on this one.
Right. Why is the network got to mess with me?
That song froze your phone up.
It did. It was so good.
The CD release is August 23rd.
August 23rd.
Available wherever you can find music.
All right. Here we go. All right. Story on this guy.
You know, I wish there was one.
The story.
It really started with the riff. If you the little riff that you hear there, I was just noodling around on the mandolin.
Yeah.
And that little riff right there. And it just kind of happened, the riff. So one of the things that I do to kind of keep ideas, I keep a notebook with just ideas, that pop up, that don't really have any specific song they belong to or anything like that.
Right.
And they're just lines. They could be titles or ideas or lines, things people say that you overhear and write down real fast. And one of the lines among many that are in this idea collection was the dirt down here in Mexico feels right on my skin. And I just put that together with that riff, and the rest of the song just came from that.
Right. It's a very cool tune. And I mean, her voice is just fabulous. And the lyrics are great. I mean, it reminds me kind of like I don't know, a Sammy Hagar, Cabo Wabo song, or a Jimmy Buffett. I mean, all those kind of island feel to it,
Yeah, well, you hear the little percussion sound in the background. It kind of has that, Jimmy. Hey, it can't be wrong. It can't be bad to sound like a Jimmy Buffett song, right?
Right.
If you're out there, Jimmy,
yeah,
you need to listen to Craft Conversation.
Right. We'll tag him and see what he does.
That's
see if
right.
He comes play Studio 117.
That's right. That's right.
All right. Well, that was about. Hell, I mean, we've done a lot. What time are we at here? We're at, I don't know, we're getting closing in on an hour.
So you're going to be out there Saturday night, right?
Yeah, I'll be there Saturday night for sure.
Yeah, so we're really looking forward to it. And again, I wanted to acknowledge the 40 Mile Detour band members: Crystal on vocals, Mike, guitar, Mike Sparks, Crystal Halverson, Ellie Jose, newest 40 miler on fiddle. Ellie's great. They're all great. John Atwater on bass, and Scott Tucker on drums. And the CD has a bunch of different artists that appear on here, and everyone is listed on here. On Pour Me a Strong One, the pedal steel is a fantastic pedal steel player named Phil Easterbrook from Nashville. So again, someone we met as a result of the cruise, and that was actually done remotely. We sent the tracks to him. He recorded it in his studio in Nashville.
Yeah.
Sent it back to us, and Omar mixed it.
Wow.
If you listen to the whole tune, there's an interesting part in there where he what he did. What Phil did was recorded a bunch of different stuff that we could pick from.
Right.
And then Omar sort of put it all together. There's a really cool place in there where he weaves the steel guitar part in with the electric guitar part. You'd think the people were in the same room.
Right. It's just amazing you can do that nowadays. I mean, it'd be nice to have everybody in the same room, obviously, but to be able to do that remotely, the technology is just...
Well, it expands, who you can involve in the project. It really adds a little something to it.
Yeah. And
then finally, I wanted to acknowledge the Shiloh Seventh-day Adventist Church Choir. There's a tune on here called Rise Up on Wings that was written for a guy who passed away named Rocky, who lived here in Somerville. And anyway, listen to Rise Up on Wings, but we went to the Seventh-day Adventist Church, and the choir sings on that song. We actually recorded their part in their church sanctuary. Mm-hmm. Microphones all over the place. I mean, these ladies can sing.
Yeah. It's
really powerful. It's a uplifting kind of song. We play it at Coastal sometime.
Yeah.
And actually, it's on our set list for Saturday night, actually.
Okay.
But do you have like 20 tickets left for the Shiloh Choir people to come in?
No, we probably could squeeze them in, yeah.
We did a show downtown at Gage Hall for the Gage Hall Coffee House down there on Archdale Street. It's a great music venue. Mm-hmm. And we did that song, and we actually brought the choir in with us to do it.
Yeah.
And it just raised the roof, man. Those ladies can sing.
Talk to Fleming, see what we can do.
Yeah.
He's the ticket guy.
Yeah, But yeah, so we're really proud of this, and I'm so thankful that you gave me this opportunity to come talk about it.
It's my honor. I've been trying to get you in here forever.
Yeah.
Yeah,
We just
glad we could finally do it.
We speed down 61, and here we are.
Here we are. We even started early. Yeah, I like it.
Cool.
Well, let's wrap it up, I guess. We're going to get down and try and see some of the third Thursday stuff down in the square, I think, right?
I might do that. Yeah, I might kick around there, see what's going on at Homegrown Brew House.
Yeah, Ron Gill's playing there tonight.
Okay.
So, I don't know who else is going to sit in, maybe, but
yeah.
So we got Studio 117 coming up this Saturday, August 17th, from 7:30 to 10:30ish. Who knows when it might end? The party might go on forever. Maybe we might have the choir in there.
But the road never ends.
Right? The road never ends. We got the CD release August 23rd. You said?
Yeah. Spectrum Music Group label.
Right.
Thank you, guys.
Look forward to that. That'll be out on all the platforms, Spotify, and all those things too. Or you just buy it on CD. I mean, what's going to happen?
You can go to the Spectrum Music Group, SpectrumMusicGroup.com website if you want a hard copy, or we're gonna have them Saturday night.
Okay.
So we'll have these Saturday night for you. Yeah, that's right.
Get it before everybody else.
Get it while it's hot, and then iTunes, everything. Yeah. So the label's gonna have it all out. So and in fact, it's available for pre-sale on iTunes right now.
Okay.
So you can actually buy the CD, get two of the cuts actually. Following You South, and I can't remember the other one. Anyway, are available now, and then when the CD actually releases on the 23rd, the rest of it comes to you. Okay. However that works.
Yeah, you get a couple tracks. That's the way everything is on iTunes. You get a couple tracks up front, and then when it releases, you get the rest of the album. So yeah. But I subscribe to iTunes, so I get. That's the way it works with all the albums right now. So.
But we're really proud of it and really thankful to the people that helped put it together. So thank you, Brian. Really appreciate it.
Before we go, anything else you want to promote? We promoted the CD and the Studio 117. Anything else you got coming up in the future?
We just look. I'll tell you what. 40miledetourmusic.com.
There you go.
We're going to be doing third Thursday in October, whenever that is. So I guess it's the third Thursday in October.
Yeah.
And then we're going to be playing 4 to 5:30 slot at the Sweet Tea Festival. And then I think we're going to come do a little acoustic show at Homegrown Brew House on December 14th. Yeah, that'll be fun.
Excellent.
Yeah. Thank you.
All right. I think that about wraps it up, man. Again, I appreciate it, Mark. And we're going to get out and try and listen to some music sometime tonight.
Get some inspiration out there.
Yeah, exactly.
Thanks, Brian.
All right, buddy.
See y'all soon.
We'll talk to you soon, guys.
All right. Well, I hope I didn't over-promote it.
No, that's fantastic. What are you talking about? It was awesome.